So we are on day 2 of our Kingston road trip, and today we have started our day at the Portsmouth Olympic Marina. And this was used in the Montreal 1976 Olympics for the water sports because Montreal didn't have the proper facilities. And behind me, you can see the Kingston Penitentiary, which we will be going to next. After doing a bit of research, I learned that the Portsmouth Olympic Harbour was reconstructed in 1974 and used for the sailing events on Lake Ontario in the 1976 Montreal Summer Olympics. Today, the harbour is still used for Canadian Olympic training regattas, and you can also use one of the 250 slips to dock your powerboat or sailboat. As I mentioned, the Kingston Penitentiary is located just across the harbour, and it was from there that we got our first sight of the high concrete walls, fencing, and barbed wire. The gloomy day just added to the ominous feeling of the penitentiary, and personally, I found it very odd that it was located among larger historical homes of the Kingston area. Not somewhere I'd want to live while it was in operation. It's a little bit soggy, but we just finished our Kingston Pen Tour, and that is the maximum security prison that's located in Kingston, Ontario, but it's no longer operational. They closed it down in 2013, but they opened it in 1835. So it has 178 years of history, and we did the extended tour and got to look at a lot of places behind the scenes and saw some of the original graffiti that the prisoners left on the walls, and it was just a really cool experience. So if you're in Kingston, Ontario, I highly recommend coming to the Kingston Pen and definitely do the extended tour because you get to see so much more of the cool history behind the Kingston Pen, or KP as the locals call it. The check-in process was quick and brought you through the historical front doors of the prison. Inside, there was a mugshot area to take photos and videos before your tour. This walking tour was approximately 2.5 hours long and brought us through the grounds and interior areas of the penitentiary, including an up-close look at cells of former prisoners, the visitation areas, and we got to learn more about the riots at the prison from a former guard who worked at the pen for over 15 years. So that was definitely a highlight of our 2 days in Kingston so far. And now it's pouring rain and we need to figure out what our next activity is going to be because we weren't planning for rain. So we'll get back to you. Well, we decided to do what we do best and found a nice place to eat lunch to escape the rain and plan the rest of our day.
That was really good. That's a big thumbs up.
Okay, so I got the lobster rolls, and I'm gonna let you see this thing. Look at all that lobster meat on there, and pickled onions, and it's buttered. A buttered bun. I don't want to like lose any of this goodness, so. This was everything I dreamed it would be and more. You want to try? No? More for me. So we just had lunch at Dianne's Fish Shack and it was awesome. I got the lobster rolls, which were everything I dreamed they would be.
And I got the tacos, and they were everything I dreamed they would be, and so much more.
Well, he got all 4 flavors, so he tried one of every taco.
Yep, beef, chicken, pork, and fish. Delicious.
I got to have a little bite of each one, and I would agree, they were all delicious, but the lobster rolls are where it's at. So if you head to Kingston, come to Dianne's and get the lobster rolls. Lobster rolls. Across the street was the Kingston Visitor Center, where you could learn more about the attractions in the area. Here you could also see the historic train engine 1095, and the Kingston sign attraction. There was also a nice park, water fountain, and waterfront walking area, but due to the weather, we didn't really get to enjoy it on this trip. We decided to risk the weather and head to Lemoyne Park, a waterfront walking trail east of the downtown area. Unfortunately, just as we got there, a heavy rainfall was starting to roll in, so we did the next best thing. We found a brewery, the Spearhead Brewing Company to be exact, and we learned that this brewery has a celebrity investor, the Sam Roberts Band. If you're wondering, the atmosphere was awesome. We just happened to be there on taco and oyster night. The beers were great, and Darlene was a fantastic taproom host. The sun finally made a brief appearance. After the brewery, we went to the Military Communications Museum, saw the drawbridge open to let a sailboat into the harbor, and sat in Kingston traffic for a bit on our way back to our hotel. So we just came back to the room to kind of freshen up before we head back out and look for some place to eat. Unfortunately, it was pretty rainy all day, so we weren't able to see all of the sites that we wanted, but we kicked off the day with a Kingston Pen Tour, and that was probably the highlight of our Kingston road trip overall. We found our way to a brewery, which we really enjoyed, and now we're gonna go look for somewhere to eat for dinner. The good thing about this hotel is that it's centrally located downtown Kingston, and we have great access to a lot of different restaurants nearby, so we shouldn't be too hard pressed to find something delicious. For dinner, we ended up just around the corner from our hotel at Wooden Head's Gourmet Pizza. But after doing what seemed like eating and drinking all day, we decided to be a little healthier and get salads and split a pizza between us. When in doubt, pepperoni is the way to go, and this pizza did not disappoint. Tonight is our last night in Kingston, and despite the weather, we had a really good time seeing all of the sights. Today it may have seemed like all we did was eat and drink, and that's kind of because that's what we did. It was pouring rain off and on all day, so we did get to go see the Kingston Pen Tour and then eat and drink the rest of the day. And I must say the Kingston Pen Tour is my favorite activity that we did here in Kingston.
Yeah, it was the thing I was looking forward to the most and the thing that I enjoyed the most. Everything that we saw there was really, really cool. Actually, the stories that they had there was even better. I was really blown away with a lot of the things they had to say.
It was really cool because we got to hear from some of the prison guards that actually worked in the pen when it was operational. So they had really cool stories to share. Tomorrow, we're getting up bright and early, and we are heading to Gananoque, where we are getting on a Thousand Islands cruise. So if you want to see what that looks like, tune into the next video, and we will take you along for the ride. That's all for tonight, so bye for now.